everyone, and welcome to our class all about animals. This is going to be such a fun class. I'm so excited. So, okay, we're going to get a group pick real quick. So, if you brought a fur baby, would you bring them on the screen? And we need to get some pictures. I know my almost 6-year-old little guy is going to just adore this. So, everybody, all the pups. I'll wait just a second so you can grab them. What a fun idea. I'm like complimenting myself, but it really is. I'm like looking at all these animals, they're bringing me so much joy. Okay, I'm gonna have to get 2 pictures because we have 2 screens. Oh, actually we have 4 screens. All right, so just smile for the next like 20 seconds. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, and then next group, you don't know who you are. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm loving how many people don't have animals and they're still here. That is commitment. Okay, we're gonna have to make that work, and I'll post those. Okay, well tonight is really exciting. We have a few housekeeping items quickly before we get started. As a perk to being in our team, if you brought someone new to this class who doesn't have oils, is just brand new, then I'm going to drop a link in the chat box here in a minute, and you can fill out that that link, and you're going to be entered to win the Fur Baby Bundle, which I went over. Not going to spend time going through all the little items, but they're really fun. And then next week, we have classes every single Monday night. So I want you, if you will, just grab a pen and paper really quick and write down, or maybe you can watch the replay. Next week, we're doing a class all about oils for teachers. The week after that, we're doing a class all about pregnancy and delivery. The week after that is a class all about menopause. The week after that, so we're doing 2 ends of the spectrum, pregnancy and delivery, and then menopause. And then the week after that, we're doing a class all about oils for nurses. And then the week after that is oils for oils and special needs stories of caretakers. And so I'm really excited about all those classes, and all of that information you can find in the events tab of either of our groups, OQ or Essential Oil Basics. So check that out, or message me if you need the information. All on the same Zoom link. So without further ado, tonight I'm so excited. We're going to hear from the animal oil expert and so much more. Her name is Lara, and she is a dear friend of mine. She is committed to this topic, y'all. She has flown to Utah several times to learn at the animal conference. She has, I mean, gosh, I don't even know how many animals. She'll probably tell you in and on her land. Their last name is Brewster, and so they have the Brew Zoo, and they're just amazing people. Love their animals. They care for them so well. And the coolest thing about Lara is that she's actually allergic to animals, and that is why she got into oils, because she needed an option. And so maybe she'll share that story. But Lara, I just appreciate you taking the reins tonight, and I'm gonna mute myself and listen to all your goodness, girl.
All right. Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, good. First of all, I have to introduce the newest member of my family. This is Zeke. He is our Great Dane puppy that we are keeping. We just had a litter of them, and so anyway, he's gonna go scuttle off or get stuck in my office. Hold on. Go. Sorry, you guys just got a glorious view of my butt. So anyway, like Bethany said, my name is Lara Brewster. I am delighted to be here tonight. This is my favorite topic to talk about. It is something I'm extremely passionate about. So we are going to try to keep this under, like, I don't know, 7 hours, because I could seriously talk about animals for a long time. But so I do have a lot of animals. We recently just got down to 12 dogs. I say got down to because at one time we were up to about 18. So they all have jobs, almost all of them. A couple of them, their jobs are just to be cute. They range from hunting wild boar with my husband to blood tracking, scent tracking. We have Great Danes, we have Great Pyrenees, we have Collies, we have all kinds of dogs. And then we have 5 horses. We have a mule, a mammoth donkey, a mini donkey. We have 6 pigs. I have 13 chickens. And we have, let's see, we have 4 Scottish Highland cows, which are the long-haired cows, which are so stinking cute. And then we have a longhorn bull, whose literally only job is to just look really awesome in my pasture. It's become the running joke between myself and my husband that I get either guns or animals for anniversaries and special occasions. So for Valentine's Day, I got a Scottish Highland cow. And then this most recent Mother's Day, I got a pair of Scottish Highland cow calves. So to say that I'm like obsessed is kind of an understatement, because I am. So anyway, that's the long intro to like me and what I have going on around my house every day. I used to work full-time at Garmin, and I left my job to stay home with my son, who is just turned 2, and be a full-time farm manager, basically. So that's been a lot of fun. I get to interact with all my animals every single day. So we have a good pulse on what's going on with them. Anyway, my training, basically, why should you listen to anything I have to say? Am I just some random person who like has a hoarding problem with animals? Potentially, yes. But like Bethany said, if this is my passion. I have had the opportunity to fly out to the Mona Farm in Utah and attend the Young Living Animal Conference back when it existed. They have since, unfortunately, stopped hosting that because we didn't have enough interest. Come on, people. But I got to interact and speak with, learn from some of the most amazing holistic veterinarians in the business, along with people from all walks of life. Guys that do the Iditarod with their dogs, professional barrel racers with their horses, dog trainers. There's one woman who works almost exclusively as an attorney for animal abuse cases and works with shelters. So I got such a cool look at how broad the spectrum is for people who need these oils in their life. And let's see, what else? See, I have to write this stuff down, otherwise I will like rabbit trail so bad and we literally will be here for 7 hours. So I will try to keep myself under control. But I have to tell you guys, I have no formal veterinary training. Honestly, none at all. It just comes from experience, experimentation. And I tell you that not to like lessen what I have to say. Legally, I have to tell you I'm not a vet. But also to encourage you that this information and these techniques, this implementation can be done by anyone. You can learn this information just as easily as I did. If you have a passion for it, go get it. The information is out there. And if there's something that you don't know, you're going to have to conduct your own independent study. And sometimes that is where the best information comes from. But anyway, so that's kind of a little bit about me. I have 2 windows open right now. So like I have my phone because it's better quality recording. And then I have the chat open. So if there's like questions as we're going on, I'm going to try to keep an eye on that. But at the end of this, we'll do like a frequently asked questions and I'll try to answer questions that you guys have. So I'm going to do my best. And thank you for all your comments that are coming in for encouraging. I love it. Thank you so much. This is totally out of my wheelhouse. I don't like speaking in front of people. So we have like 72 bottles of Valor open right now. And also, just as a side note, Bethany, I saw you wearing yours. And if you guys haven't tried the One Heart blend from Convention, go get you some. It is good. So here we go. Get your notebooks. So if you've ever attended a class about Young Living essential oils, you will know that quality is what sets Young Living apart. And that is super important when we're dealing with oils just in general. And most of us here, if you're part of Young Living, know why. But that becomes even more important when we're talking about animals. Because animals are much closer to nature than we are, they are more susceptible to toxic load, and they are much more susceptible to having adverse reactions to poor quality oils. So I cannot stress that enough. If you are going to put any oil around, on, or in your animals, it has to be Young Living. I mean, I don't say that because I want you to buy from me. I don't say that because I get a paycheck from Young Living. I say that because I have personally seen what happens to animals when they are exposed to oils that are of poor quality. There is no substitution. There is zero substitution there. That is a black and white line. I will not deviate from that in any way. Young Living is the only essential oil company that has a veterinary advisory board that deals with the safety of oils for animals. They have an entire pet line, animal sense line. We're going to go over that a little bit later. But I say it every single time when people show me videos of cats like shaking from having an oil put on them. I go, what oil did they use? And they go, oh, it was X oil. And I'm like, where did it come from? Oh, I don't know. They didn't say. Well, I know why they didn't say, because that answer gives you the causation for this. So, I don't take safety lightly when it comes to my animals. They're very important to me. They were my children before I had children. So just know that oils can be used very safely on every single animal in your household. And I'm trying to find an oil in my mind that I haven't or would not ever use that Young Living offers. And I honestly can't think of one. So with that being said, here we go. I've said that like 6 times. I'm sorry. I promise we will get into the class. So diffusing is a fantastic way to get started when you're talking about oils and animals. You can be a walking diffuser, so put it on yourself. Like, I have oils in my hair. I have them on the back of my neck. Like I said, I tried to actually dive into the bottle of Valor. I didn't fit, but I would if I could. So your animals will start to, I know, right, Bethany? I've said that many times, but your animal will start to associate your scent with oils and the feelings that they get from being with you with oils. So that's a really good way to introduce oils to your animals, because our animals are very sensitive. I mean, I have bloodhounds. They have 400 times the scent capacity that I do. Lloyd is going to notice when an oil bottle gets opened up in my house. So he is one that actually loves oils. You're not going to find every animal is like drawn to them, and animals aren't drawn to every single oil. So you do need to be aware of their personal preferences, just like people are. But I heard Mary Young say this one time, sometimes they're not meant to smell good, they're meant to work. So we try not to make bad associations with animals and oils, but sometimes it has to happen. So the other thing I was going to say about safety, as I was writing down my notes, something came to me and it said you can either believe fear or facts when it comes to oils and animals. So you can believe what you read on the internet and the fact that, you know, tea tree is toxic to cats and citrus is toxic to cats, or you can actually go and do the research and find out what makes those things less accessible to cats, for instance. But anyway, so we are choosing facts over fear when it comes to this and when it comes to our animals, because that's the best way to go. You can put oils in a diffuser if you have animals. Don't panic. It's okay. I always try to encourage people to diffuse in an open area and give your animals the option to leave the room if it becomes too much for them. Sorry, I'm also like 22, 23 weeks pregnant, so I get out of breath super easily. So Sorry about that. If I sound like I'm like huffing and puffing, that's happening as well. But if you have animals that can't leave the room, like a bird, use a smaller amount of oil inside your diffuser. So we just make adjustments to things if they're necessary. When we're talking about animals, essential oils and plants are not new to them. Evolutionarily speaking, they have been dealing with these plants for thousands of years. Long before Young Living was distilling them, wild horses, for example, they will go through the plains and find plants to keep flies away. Dogs do the same thing. When you see dogs eat something, eat grass to make themselves throw up, that's their way of naturally dealing with what's going on in their body. They need that right now to help them deal with an upset stomach. I have a citronella plant. My horses and my dogs will rub on it and lay in it to keep the flies away. Genius, right? So animals understand these things. They are closer to nature than we are. So it's really important that we get the toxins out of their life. We had a dog that dealt with allergies, like the gunky eyes and the sneezing and the upper respiratory infections. And we're like, dude, what is going on? I started using Young Living, got out all the toxic crap in my house, stopped with the candles, stopped with the Glade plug-in, stopped with the Clorox. Why was I using Clorox next to my animals? And lo and behold, he didn't have any of those problems anymore. So you have to be aware of what's going on around in your home is going to affect your pets, positively or negatively. There's only one way. That's another reason why we only choose to use thieves cleaner. We work with a lot of rescues. So we have puppies coming in and out of our house. We have moms with like litters of puppies. Well, mom cleans up after puppy. So they're going to be licking the floor. Well, I also don't want my floor to smell like pee-pee. So we use thieves cleaner all over the floor. And I'm completely confident that when our mama dog goes to lick all that up, she's fine. So again, it's a choice between products, and we choose natural products that are not going to harm our animals if they're ingested. I personally cannot tell you to use oils internally on your dogs. They are not labeled that way. But if you, through your own research and your own level of comfort, choose to do that, I think it's a great idea. I'm just going to throw that out there. We're going to hear about using some supplements and stuff like that later on tonight from Logan. And all of those things are great for our animals. So that was like the general, this is how we use oils. We're going to deal with the elephant in the room, the question that I get at least once a week. Can I use oils around my cat? Yes, you can. I feel like a salesman right there. But wait, there's more. The reason cats get such a bad rap when it comes to oils is because they have an incomplete pathway in their liver. The liver is obviously responsible for filtration in the body. So cats have a harder time filtering things that come through their body, either internally or topically or aromatically. That all still has to get filtered. So we're going to go back to quality, why it's so important. If you have poor quality oils, they're going to gunk up your cat's liver the same way they gunk up a diffuser, they gunk up your lungs, they gunk up everything. So you can use high quality oils around your cat, despite the fact that they have that incomplete pathway. I had a cat. He showed up at the house out of nowhere. There's like a beacon. They all just come to my house. He had just gotten away from a pack of coyotes. Poor little thing. Skin and bones, missing patches of fur, cuts all over his face, sneezing blood, sneezing snot. He was not doing great. So we take him into our vet and we're like, is he gonna make it? Like, is he okay? And the vet goes, well, he's broken like all the bones in his face. Not all of them, but like several bones in his face. And he's probably going to deal with like chronic upper respiratory infections forever, unless you want to do like reconstructive surgery on the cat that just showed up at your house. And I'm like, he's a cool cat, but no. So Scarface, as he was called, got the oil rundown. He was bathed in the Animal Sense shampoo with Thieves Cleaner to get all the off of his body. We diffused RC around him. We did Thieves. We did everything around this cat. He got the full-on oil makeover. And he loved to eat coconut oil straight out of the jar. So if you didn't leave the lid totally on, he would spin it off and he would use his little claws. It would look like a fork and he would just eat coconut oil. Whatever, dude. We take the cat back in like a year later and the vet's like, is that the same cat? It's still alive? Wait, what did you do? And I was like, well, he said he was going to die anyway, so I felt like I would just go for it. And I did. Scarface lived for like another 5 years. He was the best cat ever. He was so cool. Scarface has since gone to the pasture in the sky. But he is one of my favorite examples. I mean, he drank Ningxia. He did it all. And he was the healthiest cat my vet had ever seen, especially coming from like a near-death situation. So I just encourage you guys to be aware with your animals as they're going and be sensitive to where they're at. So if they're responding well, keep doing it. If they're not, look at a different way. So we're gonna go through, Susan, yes, your Yorkies can drink Ningxia. It's safe for them. It's not gonna hurt them. I would start with a small amount because it can give them the runnies, but I have to do the sound effect for everything. I'm so sorry. But so we're going to run through a couple different species of animals, and I'm just going to tell you like how I've used them and a few like cool testimonies about them. And then we're going to go to Gina and she's going to talk about her dog. So dogs, they're fantastic. I love them. They need help sometimes. I have a lot of hound dogs. So they have really long ears that don't get a lot of oxygen to them. So they're prone to some ear problems. So we use the seedlings wipes are fantastic. And they will clean out the ears, keep all the at bay. And I highly recommend it. I also have a DIY like ear spray that I think is probably floating around somewhere in all of the groups. If you need it, you can message me on Facebook or whatever. I'll send it to you. It's great. The Animal Sense Ointment is an absolute necessity for anybody that has animals. I'm going to talk about it later. It's all the way over there on my desk. I'm not going to reach it. But we use it for paws, noses, tail injuries, all kinds of things. We had a dog. His name was Rocky. He was fantastic. He was a black and tan coonhound. He was my baby. And he hunts raccoons. That's their job on the farm. And so he was out hunting with my husband one night, and on the way back, come to find out, he ran through a barbed wire fence. Didn't even know it. He has got a flap of skin just like hanging off his chest. And I'm like, come on, man. It's 10 o'clock at night. Do I need to take you to the emergency vet? It's like a Friday night. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to spend $2,000 just for them to tell me they can't stitch this up because it's been open too long. I'm like, all right, here we go. We clean it out with a Thieves Cleaner, add some like lavender, frankincense, helichrysum, probably some other things. And then I slather that bad boy in Animal Sense Ointment. I put a t-shirt on him. That's how big he was. He could wear like an adult small t-shirt because his chest was so big. And no infection, no hair loss, he'll burn up. Just saying, animals are great. Also, this is a question I get all the time. What do we do for pests? We have now switched to using the Young Living insect repellent. It is rated and approved for animals, for fleas, ticks, flies, and probably mosquitoes as well. It is good for your animals. It works really well. And I'll talk about more of like how I use it later on. Horses. All right, dogs, check. Horses. Stephanie. I use the Young Living insect repellent. Why can't I remember the name of it? So yeah, it comes in a little pump bottle, or you can get it in the wipes. We use it on the wipes. We just like wipe the dog's legs down. It's great. Christy, yes, horses. Here they come. My husband is a farrier. For those of you that don't have horses, that means he puts shoes on horses' feet. So he deals with feet and basically from the leg down. That's what he does. He deals with horses all day, every day. And then we have them in our house. So we have run into a variety of issues with our horses because they're all crazy. So we have, one of the horses we have at the house is actually a wild mare, female horse. She has never been handled. She used to be a bucking horse. And then from there, she got rescued because she was going to go to the slaughterhouse. Sorry, that's probably way too real life. But so we had to check her out. With something was going on. We had to get close to her. We had no idea how we were going to do this. She's literally in a pasture. She's just like living out her glory days at the house, like just retirement community over there. So I like put on all the valor and all the peace and calming, and I like walk out there with the grain bucket, and I'm like, please Lord, let the horse come to me. You guys, this horse comes up to me and just drops her head and just leans it up against me. And I'm like looking around like, does anyone else see this? This horse has never been touched by us, ever. And that was pretty fantastic for us. We loved that one. So we use a lot of emotional support oils for the horses because they are very sensitive. They are very in tune with what you bring to a situation. So if you're looking at, a horse that's misbehaving, grab an emotional oil and see what they respond to. As far as gut health goes, we use Digize or Paragize from the Animal Sense line because horses, when they get stressed, their guts have problems. So when you're trailering, things like that, or even just going to the vet's coming out, a farrier's coming out, we really love using the horses with oils. The oils with horses. They are very sensitive for how large they are. So you can use a small amount of oil on them and you will see them respond fairly quickly. So if you have oils, I would absolutely suggest have horses. Start working with them with the oils before you go on a trail ride. Try some valor, try some peace and calming. Try, if you have a farrier coming out, please let your horse stand still. Also the insect repellent, better than any fly spray I've ever had in my entire life. I'm telling you, it's fantastic. Also the Animal Sense shampoo, we diluted a bit and we'll use that for baths and stuff like that. It's really good. You can also use, oddly enough, the lavender conditioner on mane and tail if you have like some tangles and stuff like that. That also works. Okay, where are my farm people at? Like, most people have dogs and cats here. Some of you might have horses. But like, do we have any like farm people like me? Are you guys in here? Is this my group? I know you guys are my people, obviously. So we had goats for a time. And I loved these goats. They were fantastic. we did not have, I know, right? Is this not the cool, sorry, total side note, Morgan, you do need this cup. It's so cool. It's also filled with Ninja Zing, which I probably didn't need at 8:30 at night, but I'm doing it anyway. Sorry, farm people. Oh, all right, yes. Oh my gosh, you guys are so cool. Bearded dragon? That's like a really cool lizard, right? I want a lizard so bad. Bearded dragon. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I love it. Okay, here we go. So we had goats. I love my goats. But we didn't have our Great Pyrenees at the time. So we didn't have a protector for the goats. So we had the goats in this like enclosed area. Well, we also have coyotes around us. Surprise, surprise, we live with no neighbors. So one day, a coyote came over. We had goats for a short while. No, I love my goats. But they just got eaten. Don't tell people that. It's terrible. So a coyote came over and tried to take Bathtub was the name of our mama goat that we had. Weird name. She had it when we got her. And she ended up with, I'm sorry guys, this is going to be TMI. It's true. She ended up with a hole in her backside. And there's a hair in my eye. Like a hole that was not supposed to be there. There's the hole that's supposed to be there. And then there was this hole. So we go out there to check on her and we're like, what happened to Bathtub? Like, oh my word. It's the middle of summer. So you know what happened? Flies are in there. Maggots are in there. It is infected. It is crusty. It is gross. Sorry again if anyone has a weak stomach. So I mixed up what I call magic juice. There are no measurements. I just throw stuff in a bottle. Thieves Cleaner. The trifecta of the Animal Sense collection, Infect Away, Mendwell, and Pure Clean. Like a whole bottle of frankincense. Purification, Thieves, Helichrysum, everything I had in there. We went out and sprayed that poor goat twice a day, every day, until we got everything out. I sprayed that in there and things would come out. Like they were trying to get away from the oils. It cleaned out everything. And so we're spraying this on her, rinsing her with water. We make sure she has good food, all that kind of stuff. It was probably, I want to say 5 to 7 days. So we got everything out and you could start to see the new skin forming and like healing from the inside out. So we're spraying, and we start adding the Animal Sense ointment because we know there's no bad stuff. So we were trying to get all the bad stuff out and now we want to stop the bad stuff from getting in. I have turtles. Yes, I have 2 little turtles. We found them. So we got all that in, started Animal Sense ointment. It was 10 days later. She was completely healed over. I mean, completely healed over. I have never seen anything like that in my life, ever. We had the vet come out. He couldn't come out. So like big animal vets, you kind of have to work around their schedule. He came out and he goes, why am I out here? And I was like, well, she had 2 battles for a while, so we wanted you to come out. It was insane. Bathtub made it, lived for several more years, had some cute little babies. Then we had an incident and the goats were gone. We haven't gotten more now, but I want them. They were so cute. Oh my gosh, Timothy the Russian tortoise. That is so cool. Like I said, guys, I get sidetracked easily. So pigs, we had a litter of piglets. One of the little piglets, it was raining, kind of cool. And it wasn't standing up on its own. So piglets, when they come out, they run around, they're very agile, they're ready to go. It wasn't walking on its own. All kinds of things were going on with this. And I had to Yes, I should take before and after pictures. I just never think to take before pictures because I'm so in the moment of like, why is there a hole in my goat? You know? Beth, TOA is not the best calming for dogs, actually. I found it actually gives dogs a lot of confidence and they will actually continue their behavior, interestingly enough. Unless their hyperactiveness is tied to anxiety. Anyway, we'll talk about calming at the end. So anyway, we had pigs. It's not standing up on its own. So we bring it inside. We give it some frankincense. I did Trauma Life and kept it inside for a little while, got it warmed up, put it back out there. Boom. It's great. The biggest one of the litter. Chicken people. Does anyone know the ear spray recipe? Yes, Yvette. If you will send me a message, or Bethany, or somebody, get in touch with one of us, I will send it to you. Bethany, thank you. Post it. Do it. Yes. Yes, please. Thank you. Chickens are such cool animals. I'm so happy that I have them here. But they are very sensitive. So we put like 10 drops of oregano in every like 50-gallon bag of feed that we have. So oregano is like a natural antibiotic. It works really well. If we have a chicken that's kind of struggling, we will do Thieves, Purification, RC, Raven, those type of things in like an enclosed space where we're kind of like working with them because my chicken's free range all the time. But yeah, so we have seen an actual increase in egg production and size when our chickens are healthier. No surprise. So with the oregano daily and just the diffuser, it has really helped. Okay, there was my mad dash. It took me longer than I wanted to, but I really tried to run through that as fast as I could. I'm going to turn it over to Gina, and she's going to tell us about how she's using oils to train her new puppy. Yes?
Yes. Yay. Thank you so much, Lara. So great to hear you. Just learning so much tonight. All right. So I have a puppy. He's 3 months old. His name is Rocket Man. He is a American Bulldog and an Australian Cattle Dog mix. He's a rescue. So I'm going to share with you what oils I've been using to train him. And I'll just say that from the moment that I picked him up, when we drove to Connecticut to pick him up, I had the lavender in the car with me. I put a drop in my hand. I rubbed it together. And right when he came in the car, I rubbed it right on his spine. And he calmed down. He just laid on my lap the whole ride home. It was like a 3.5-hour drive. We obviously stopped about halfway home. But already I could just see, one, having that tool to connect with them already as this like, okay, this is a partnership. I have this tool to connect with them, to create this environment for them, I think really set the tone for my relationship with him and to train him. So we have crate trained him. He is house trained already. And what oils that I've used is specifically for crate training too. I feel like I've used lavender. I put just like a drop on my hand and rub it right onto the bedding in the crate. I've done the same with Peace and Calming. Really any of them, Stress Away, Valor, Frankincense. And I think what has really helped is the crate is now a place, like it's his sanctuary. It's not like a place where it's like, you're a bad dog, go in there. It's his sanctuary, and the oils have really helped create that environment. Now, also, I do like, I would say like 1 or 2 like actual training sessions with him a day. And my favorite oils to use for that are frankincense. So actually we had a friend who trained pit bulls, and she used Young Living's frankincense before she would train them. So frankincense is a grounding oil. I right now will put it on my hand and rub it down his spine and right on the crown of his head. Once he gets older, I'm sure I could do it now, but you could just put a drop right on the crown of their head, and it just grounds them and helps them focus before you have that training session. And it gives them that like, okay, we're going into the session. We're starting with the intention. You add the oil, helps calm their nervous system, and then they can start with the training. So he learned in one session to sit, lay down, and stay, which is amazing. And then I'll just say one other one, which is one of the free promos this month, is the Genius. This is actually good for like kids that struggle. This is formulated for kids, so it's already diluted. This is like great for kids that struggle with focusing. And I've used it for Rocket Man as well for training. So again, I'll just do exactly like I said, a drop in my hand, rub it together, and go down his spine. What I love about using oils with animals, and I learned this from the woman who helped formulate the Young Living line, is that when you use them, they're not only helping support, say, physically. So when I'm using the lavender, it's not just calming him emotionally, but it's also an antibacterial essential oil. And then there's no side effects, which is amazing. It's amazing that you're using these just plants that have no side effects and that can have such a huge effect on them and can help really I feel like they helped aid my partnership with Rocket Man and to help aid his training as well. So I'll keep it short and brief. That is it. And I will turn it back over to Lara. Or is it Logan next?
Yes, I think it's Logan next.
Okay. So Logan, yay!
Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be here as well. I am learning so much as well, and thank you, Gina, for sharing as well with the training. I've been doing that a lot with my dogs lately too, the frankincense, the lavender, they work so well for training. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the supplements. I'm a big supplement fan for myself, so I've been feeding my dogs Young Living supplements as well. I have two gorgeous dogs. I don't think you're going to be able to see them that well, maybe not, but they're like 80 pounds and then 60 pounds. They're big, gorgeous shelter dogs. They're 3 and 4 years old, and we've had a little bit of a tough go with them as far as injuries. Our larger dog has had a hip replacement already, and he's only 3. And our other dog has had a hurt shoulder and a torn ACL. They're very active. We live in Colorado. We hike, we swim. So they were already on joint medication before I found Young Living, and just to help with inflammation and things like that. So when I found out that the supplements had a lot of great testimonials for animals, like I hopped on that right away. So what I feed my dogs every single night, I will show you exactly what I do for their regimen, is the first is the BLM. And this is great. This is for joint mobility, and it has, glucosamine in it, as well as collagen and MSM. And it comes in capsules. So I'll just break open 2 capsules. They each get 2 at night, and I'll sprinkle it on their food along with the sulfurzyme. And the sulfurzyme has also the MSM, but it also has the Ningxia wolfberry. So the combination of these together is so amazing because it has all these benefits that are incredibly good for us. So they have the same effect on the dog. So the MSM and the wolfberry and glucosamine have been known to support eyesight. They help with digestion. They protect the cells and the immune system. They help with circulation. I could go on with this forever, but the biggest one I want to talk about is the #1 cause in animals, in dogs especially, is cancer, right? So the wolfberry is known to help fight free radicals, which is huge. So it helps produce anti-inflammatories in the body to kind of fight off the free radicals, which I think is huge. So I am like obsessed with my dogs, just like everyone else here. I am gonna do anything I can to keep them in this world as long as I can, right? So I think for me, it's huge. The 2 biggest things that you can do for your animals today, tonight, tomorrow, right away is remove all the toxic chemicals from your house. This has been huge. Just switching over to all the thieves cleaner, because those toxic chemicals are going to contribute to, the cancer that's going to, be detrimental in the end, right? And so then the same with the Ningxia wolfberry. This is huge. So I just want to talk I switched them over to the supplements, I think about a month and a half ago. And our smaller dog, Lumen, she's always had these skin irritations. Like she would scratch herself so hard that she would remove the fur off of her neck. Like it was so intense, and she was just always itching. She would keep my boyfriend and I up all through the night, just scratch, scratch, scratch. You'd hear like her collar jingling, you know? And the doctor would put her on medication and it would get a little better and then not, and it would come back. But honestly, I think the biggest improvement I've seen since I've switched over to the Young Living supplements is in her coat. She has not like itched herself raw in forever. She hardly itches at all. Like both of their coats are just so soft and strong. And it's just incredible to see how much of a difference like pure, like good supplements can help support your dog's immune system and their coat and their, you know, their nails and their energy. And it's just been really amazing. On top of that as well, we also use the shampoo. They make an incredible dog shampoo. You can actually take this, and we split it up into 3 different bottles. You can dilute it to get the most out of this. And this has been a huge game changer as well. And then just right before my dog Lumen's birthday, my boyfriend brought this rock home from the river, and he threw it in the yard, and our dogs decided to get in a fight over this rock. I kid you not. Our larger dog bit our smaller dog on the head and drew blood. She had to go to the hospital and get stitches and everything, but I just soothed her back to health by putting lavender on it. I put a couple drops on just like in the morning and 1 at night, and it's just, it helped her heal so much quicker, and it calmed her at the same time, and it was just, it's been amazing. So that's all. I'm gonna keep it also. Ooh, I almost forgot too, the Omega Gyves, they both get 4 of these as well. Incredible. Omegas are incredible for hair, skin, and nails as well. So these all get broken up into their food, mixed in at night, and we've had great success. Anyway, that's all from me. I hope you all have a good night. I'll hit it back to the main host, Lara.
Oh my gosh, Logan, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love hearing those stories about good supplements and a huge improvement in your dogs. I will say one thing. You definitely mentioned the sulfurzyme capsules. It's really important that you don't use the sulfurzyme powder. So anybody who is talking about implementing sulfurzyme into their dog's routine or any of your animals, please only use the capsules, because the powder has xylitol in it, which is toxic to dogs. So yeah, no sulfurzyme powder for them. It tastes great in our drinks. I put it in my drink, but not for the animals. So just open up those capsules and it's fantastic. I love the supplements being added to your animals. We use sulfurzyme and Agiles for some of our dogs and our horses as well. They get it broken up in their food. They like it. Shauna, cats. Yes, I would say yes. The only question would be dosage. So Young Living supplements, as they're directed on the bottle, I believe are rated for 150-pound people. So you would have to like make that a really small amount. Honestly, the best thing you can give for cats is Ningxia, because the wolfberries, as Logan was saying, are so beneficial to whole body. So I usually start with like a teaspoon at a time, added to water or food. I had one dog that would literally just drink it out of the packet. Some dogs really love it. Some you kind of have to hide it. But anyway, yes, I would look at that. So here are a few things I've seen from you guys. You're welcome, Shauna. Being asked about calming for your dogs, cats, or horses, or any animals. You're going to want to look at peace and calming, lavender, stress away. Those are the big 3 that I do. If you find that they are hyper because of anxiety, you can look more towards the frankincense, tea away, valor, those more grounding oils, which will give them a sense of security, and they're less likely to act out. So like 4th of July, I always have the diffuser going with Trauma Life, tea away, and peace and calming. That's my trifecta for my animals. It works really well for them because some of them are running around the house because they are anxious. Some of them just don't like being cooped up inside. So it kind of hits all of those different things. And then we have one of our rescue dogs was actually exposed to fireworks and gunshots in a really negative way. And so he has a lot of trauma about that. So we use the Trauma Life for him, which is a really, really great oil for anybody who has animals that are coming out of rescues or just a change in situation, kind of that trauma. Hence the name, Trauma Life. Okay, sorry, I want to hear more about flea and tick prevention, as well as heartworm prevention. Okay. Are all of those you listed okay for cats? Yes, Grace, they are. All of them are good for cats too. So that's the calming that I was going to talk about. Logan checked an item off my list, his shampoo dilution. Thank you. The great thing about this, it comes with, see, I have the old bottle because I bought like 7 of them at a time. This is the old label, not the cool label. So it has oils in it already, but you can customize it to your animal's needs before you put the shampoo on them. So some people like to add purification or more citronella or lavender, peace and calming, things like that, if they are dealing with those specific issues for those animals. So it's a fantastic product. I have accidentally put it on my own hair, and I mean, it didn't fall out. It was very luscious. Copaiba and TOA are good for arthritis and cats. Yes, Copaiba, fantastic. My dogs steal bottles of Copaiba from me. If I have it on the counter, they will take it and they will go in their kennels and just lay with it and lick it. Can we use younger than normal shampoo for people? I would say yes to the lavender and the Copaiba. The lavender mint, the only thing I would worry about is their eyes. You know, it could be very, I mean, I've gotten it in my eyes and it hurts. So don't do it. Sorry, I'm looking here. Cats and bladders and kidneys. Cats have kidney problems, don't they? Right. So K and B is a thing, what's the word? Supplement from Young Living, and it is really good for kidneys. I will leave it at that. I can't diagnose things, I'm sorry. I can't give you a treatment plan. It's against compliance. But I would look into what that can do for your cat's kidney health. Water tanks. So we use Thieves Cleaner exclusively for our water tanks. And it works fantastic. We do regular clean outs with it. But you can also, so we use a rag to clean out the tank with Thieves Cleaner. You can also add like Castile soap or something like that. Or honestly, the best is the Thieves dish soap. It's great. And then what we'll do is we will fill up the tank and we will add, so like we have I think it's a 50-gallon tank in the backyard. And we will put 1 cap full on, in the water tank. And our horses like it. So yes, we do that. If you start doing that, I would always offer water that has nothing special in it, just in case you have horse or a dog or something that is very sensitive to it. And you don't want them to not drink water. We've added peppermint in the summer to help the animals stay cool. At first they were like, what's happening? Now they do it. They jump in it because they love it. Cleaner teeth. Not anything I would put in their water, but you can dilute the Thieves mouthwash, like a lot. Spray it on a rag and brush their teeth. Put it on a toothbrush if you want. There is a toothpaste. It's Dentarome. It's the one that does not have xylitol. Dentarome Ultra. Dentarome Ultra? I think that's right. Does not have this xylitol in it. We use that on our dogs sometimes as well. It's good for teeth health. Arthritis. Arthritis is terrible. It is honestly a breakdown of the body systems. So I struggled with arthritis. I played volleyball for a really long time. I still do, but I played at a very high level for a long time. And I have, honest to goodness, still to this day, arthritis in my hands, my shoulders, the entirety of my spine, my hips, my knees, shoulders. I think that's it. But my body, I got an MRI one time, and my neurosurgeon that I had to go see had to double check my birthday because it looked like that of an 80-year-old. So my body had been torn down and not built up with proper nutrition. So my joints were not responding properly. So for me, use Ningxia, Agilis, Sulfurzyme, and that has been life-changing for me in my ability to function. So I tell people Ningxia is great. The supplements are fantastic. If you're looking at animals that prefer a topical application, Copaiba, Panaway. If you have the CBD oil, that's very good for them as well. So yeah, I would look at those things. Dilution wise, the smaller the animal, the more dilution. So cats, I think mine is like, I do like a tablespoon of carrier oil to like 1 to 2 drops of essential oil. As your animal becomes accustomed to it and more accepting of that, you can lower the dilution. Dilution doesn't make things less effective. It just slows down the rate of absorption. So you're not doing damage by diluting more, and you're not going to like supercharge your animal by putting things on meat. You may cause an adverse skin reaction, but you can always dilute. You're never going to go wrong by diluting. How can you avoid bleach on the farm? Use Thieves Cleaner instead. Thieves Cleaner and Thieves dish soap. That's what we use at our house. For chicken water, all the water, everything. Food dishes, we spray things down with Thieves Cleaner. What kind of carrier oil for ingesting? It really depends on what your animal will take. My dogs get coconut oil every single day, as do my cats, and it's just good. It's a fantastic fatty oil. A lot of my animals, unlike some people's animals, actually have trouble keeping weight on. So we have to give them healthy fats. So we do that. Yeah. Like I said, Scarface would eat it out of a jar. Weirdo. Excuse me, my dogs will do it too. It's hilarious. If I diffuse for arthritis for me or my cat, what oils? I answered arthritis questions earlier. Diffusing for arthritis is not going to be as effective. I would suggest topical or internal. With your cats, I would go topical and see how they respond. Okay, let's see. Tooth health. The other thing I get asked all the time is seasonal discomfort, the A word that I can't say. I'm allergic to all my animals. That's why I got started with learning. And I'm allergic to everything that blooms all the time. So the same thing that works for me, lavender, lemon, and peppermint, and copaiba, work for your animals too. We like to diffuse around our animals for seasonal stuff. because a lot of it is in the air. If you have animals that are strictly outside, like we do, some of ours, if they wear like a leather collar, some drops of lavender is great for them. Or putting like a block of wood can act as a diffuser. So we have indoor-outdoor kennels. So we have a diffuser inside the kennel, inside the big building that the kennels come off of, that has lavender going almost all the time. And then if the sulfurazine is very good, because a lot of your response is actually an inflammation. So sulfurazine helps deal with that too. If it's topical, like grass, like a reaction to grass, a lot of dogs on their underbelly don't have as much hair. So what we do is when they come inside, we'll just wipe the feet and we'll wipe the belly. And that will, the seedlings wipes have lavender in them. So that lavender helps lessen the reaction that their body is having to that. So that's the other one. And honestly, the best thing you can do for your animals when it comes to seasonal or just allergies in general, sorry, I said it, is a good quality dog food. And you'll have to work with your vet on what that means for your dog. We cannot do raw feed for all of our animals. It's just not feasible for us. But we found high quality kibbles to mix with the raw that they do with. So anyway, talk to the vet about that, because that's the best person to tell you. What do you give dogs or cats for skin rash? It depends on what they are. If they're hot spots, you need to dry them out. If they are dry allergy spots, you need to see what's causing the reaction in their skin. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, the animal scent line. So we talked about the animal scent ointment. This is it. I hear a baby. I thought it was mine. This is, sorry, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. It's like a salve. So it goes on everything. We love it. The shampoo we talked about. Thieves Cleaner is great. Here are the animal scents oils. There is Infect-Away, Mend Well, Puriclean, Paragize, and Tea-Away. Infect-Away, Mend Well, and Puriclean are all designed to work together. So if you have an open area on your animal, layering those three is what you want to go with. I think that's all I have for now. Sorry, I took like an hour to get through my stuff. But anyway, if you have questions, oh shoot, one thing. Sorry, I know it's you guys. Resources to get answers to these questions. It doesn't have to be me. Just throwing that out there. It can be anybody you trust this information. My favorite resources are, I have a Facebook group that's for animals and oils. It's called the Brew Zoo. I think it's linked in Oils Quintessential. If you can't find it, message me. The Animal Desk Reference. This thing is fantastic. It deals with all kinds of animals. It goes through reptiles, fish, birds, pocket pets to huge, large animals. There's also a variety of resources from like Life Science Publishing, horse stuff, all kinds of things. The other one I'm going to get asked about is how to find a vet that's going to be supportive of your crunchy journey. The website is www.ahbma.com. So it's Association of Holistic Veterinarian Medicine something. Sorry, I can't remember. But anyway, they have a Find a Vet section, and you can find one in your area that is supportive of a holistic lifestyle. So that's it. Thank you guys for listening to my ramblings for the last hour. Gina, Logan, you're awesome. Thanks for adding your information. I hope you guys learned something new, and I was able to answer some of your questions. It is, here's the website again, www.ahbma.com. I can post that in our group as well.
Lara, that was amazing. Thank you so much for all of your time. And I was just going to throw in one thing. With these common questions that come up, one of the things that I'm working hard to do is build a unit in OQ, and there is one for animals. So as questions come up, please feel free to post them. If you have good information that's like solid science-based, especially from that Discover LSP book, that desk reference, and you post it in the group, let's add it to that unit so that we can all crowdsource and learn together. Lara, thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you, Logan and Gina. You guys have an awesome night. Go love your fur babies, and we'll see you next week for oils and teachers. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.